Hello students, so I am again here with class 11th, first chapter from Hornbill, Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. We can say that this chapter, Portrait of a Lady, is an autobiographical sketch by Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh, an Indian writer, a lawyer, a diplomat, and we can say he was a politician also, journalist also. But for us, he is a great writer. He became famous as a writer when he penned down his experiences of partition. Yes, he wrote about his experiences of partition in a novel form. He wrote a novel, and the name of the novel was Train to Pakistan. And after this novel, he became famous as a writer. He had many roles to play. He played many roles, but for us, he is a great writer. So let's start with the chapter. And here, I'm not going to read each and every line and explain each and every line like the poetry. But here, you will be ready. You should be ready with your pen and book so that you can mark important points, important lines, and write down important words with their meanings. So let's start with this chapter. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. So I had known her means this autobiographical sketch was written by Khushwant Singh when he was 20 plus. So it means he had seen his grandmother for the last 20 years, and he had whatever experiences he had with his grandmother, he had tried to give it a shape in this autobiographical sketch. And he says, for the last 20 years, I had seen my grandmother as very, very old woman, a wrinkled faced woman. People said that she had been once young and pretty and had even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. He says, in my home, my parents, maybe other people, many times they talked about my grandmother's young days. That she was very pretty, she was very beautiful when she was young. But he said that because I had seen her as an old lady only, so it was very difficult for me to believe that she was a young lady also. And especially when it became more for him to believe, more difficult for him to believe that she was a young lady also. Why? Because my grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. He did not look the sort of person who would have a wife and children. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. He says, as far as my grandfather was concerned, I had never seen my grandfather, but there was a portrait in our drawing room, and in the portrait, my grandfather also looked very, very old, with big turban, white turban, covering the most of the part of the chest. And then in the portrait, he's wearing very loose fitting clothes. He's wearing very big turban. Naturally, old people do not bother about their clothing and turban and all these things. So he also looked very, very old. So he says, because of that portrait also, it was very difficult for me to accept that grandmother was having a very young husband also, and she herself was a very beautiful, pretty lady when she was young. As for my grandmother being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. This is already in the bold. Okay, so you may get this question that what was revolting for young Khushwant Singh? So he says this thought was revolting, that my grandmother was once very young and pretty lady, because even her husband was also looking in the portrait, an old man who can have only grandchildren. She often told us of the games she used to play as a child that seemed quite absurd and undignified. on her part. Many times, at the time of maybe story telling, or maybe when she was to tell some story, some other story, fairy story, maybe in between she would be talking about her own days. And he said, I always thought that this is really very undignified, means very disrespectful for this, for any elderly person to lie. Because he always thought that the grandmother was lying whenever she talked about the games she used to play when she was a child like them, and she maybe whenever she talked about her own young days. He said, I always thought that this is very bad. My grandmother should not do this. She should not lie, because he never accepted that grandmother was not telling stories, it was the facts only. And we treated it like fables of the prophets she used to tell us. And whenever she talked about her own experiences of young days or childhood days, he said we always took it as part of some stories only. Fables means stories of the prophets, of the saints, means their bedtime stories were always maybe stories about the saints. And whenever she talked about her own days, he said we always thought that this is again a part of story only. It's not grandmother's own experiences. Now, this next para, this is about physical appearance. You may get this question, okay? That you have to write few lines on the physical appearance of grandmother. So this second para, whole para is about that. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. This is how the old people are. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles running from everywhere to everywhere. No, we were certain she had always been as we had known her. Her face was full of wrinkles, running from anywhere to anywhere. I mean, the whole face was full of wrinkles. And that's why he said that many times it was confirmed whenever I looked at her face that no, my grandmother was always like this only. Old, so terrible old that she could not have grown older and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. And that's why he thought that maybe she was always old only. Okay, so all these things are fake things. She could never have been pretty, but she was beautiful. Underline this line. Again, you may get this line as a question. Okay, you may get this line that she could never have been pretty, but she was beautiful. Explain, elucidate, elaborate. Okay, whatever. So you may get this question from here. So what does it mean? That she was not pretty, but she was beautiful. Here maybe he's talking about the inner beauty. For this grandchild, grandmother was really very, very gentle lady, very generous lady, very beautiful lady, if not pretty. Pretty is actually facial beauty. Maybe she is an old lady, face is full of wrinkles, so she cannot be called pretty face. But even then, the child says, this grandchild says that my grandmother was always very, very beautiful because her heart was very beautiful. She hobbled about the house in spotless white. Spotless white means she always used to wear white clothes. And she was so careful for all these things that, and she, we can say here, we can get this one more point also, that she always was so much conscious about that the clothes should be neat and clean, means she had this high sense of hygiene. Okay, this word you can write down, that she had a high sense of hygiene. That's why she always wore, though white clothes, even then you would never find even a single spot on those white clothes, white sari. Okay, so spotless white, not even a single spot. She hobbled means she walked slowly here and there in the house, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop and the other telling the beads of her rosary. So old people mostly walk like this only because they are bent, they are old. So sometimes they are to put one hand on the waist so that they can balance their own body, and in the other hand, this grandmother would always be having the rosary in her hand. Okay, she would be always telling the beads. I think rosary को आप हिंदी में क्या बोलते हो? माला जपना. Okay, telling the beads maybe आपने हिंदी में बहुत बार सुना है माला जपना, but now you should mark this. This is English translation. Mala Japna, to tell the beads of the rosary. So she was always having this rosary in her hand. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, puckered face. Pale, puckered because this is wrinkled face, and silver lock means here we can say white hairs. Okay, curly white hairs were sometimes scattered on the face, and maybe this would be making the face look more beautiful for the child. And her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayer, and she would be always telling the prayer. She would be always maybe reading the scriptures or which she had learned by heart or something. So she was always doing prayer which was inaudible. Inaudible means you cannot hear what she would be maybe saying, but even then one can see from the lip movement that she was always lost in prayers. Yes, she was beautiful. And maybe because of all this, for the child, this grandmother looked always beautiful because she was gentle lady, she was religious lady, she had high sense of hygiene and cleanliness. So all these things made this lady, made this grandmother look very beautiful in the eyes of grandchild. She was like the winter landscape in the mountain. Here we can say simile is used. Now you people will get RTC also. So from here, if you get a line for RTC, so your one question can be that what simile is used, or do you think that any special thing you see here in these lines where he's comparing his grandmother's beauty with something. Okay, so this part of speech you can say this is simile because like word is used. So she was like the winter landscape in the mountains, an expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Here she is compared to a winter landscape. Actually, what is winter landscape? Winter landscape would be that landscape where you would show snow, snow covered peaks, snow covered trees. Means this kind of picture would be very soothing to the eyes. Why? Because mostly white color would be used, light blue will be used. Okay, because you have to show snow covered areas. So this kind of painting would be always soothing to the eyes, and that's why she would look very peaceful lady, which and she would look even very contented lady who has no desires, and she is very happy with whatever she has got. I think this much only. Okay, read these two paragraphs carefully and you will get to know. Thank you.